received today. Brazil.
But that is still in hundreds.
Absolutely. And then we're talking about movie stars, Bollywood stars who are involved in MMA, not because anybody paid them, not because they are becoming advertisers or influencers. No, they're organically watching and tweeting and being involved in mixed martial art, whether it was Varun Dhawan or Tiger Shroff, Sunil Shetty. I mean, Sunil Shetty is someone we've seen how much passion he has for mixed martial art. And I think he's absolutely one of the people that has given me this glimpse of hope as well, that India has a future, because we need to bring a community. We have to bring a team like yourselves, us, and people like Sunil Shetty are the right people that looks at the sport from a passion and love side of it, looking at the actual growth of it. So we've seen movie stars, we've seen the athletes registration. You've also had events where you had fans, over 13,000 come and
30,000.
30,000, 30. So you look at the audience, and this is when people talk about what you mentioned, the 30,000 people come and watch an event. This is not something that hasn't happened multiple times. I mean, not 30,000, but we've seen 12,000, we've seen 15,000. But we've also seen viewership for international organizations like Brave, UFC, WWE. We've seen some of the biggest viewerships come from India.
Yes.
So now I'm saying, when we put it into a nutshell, you're talking about officials alone up to 100 to 300. Right. You're talking about audience coming to watch on TV viewership, one of the highest for WWE, UFC, and Brave from India, but also watching events and being at the event up to 30,000. We've seen that multiple times. 40 plus promotions, at least 10 to 15 MMA media platforms born from India.
Yes.
You have a market that nobody has seen, and it is existing in India today. And for me, from a business perspective, as a promoter, I keep saying that when I say that India is the biggest sports market, and of course, it's clearly shown from the IPL's success as well, why India is one of the key sports market.
Yes.
But I think it is also one of the biggest MMA market. And within India, the sports investors, I think they have a gold mine there in sports investment that they have never seen before, nor have sports investors from other country have seen this opportunity before in sports. And I think international investors or national investors who have tasted blood through sports today have their Bitcoin at $1. That is MMA in India for me today. And the case study shows it. I don't have to say it. You look at the numbers from viewership to athletes to the gyms. You have over 500 to 600 gyms in India that we are aware of. But I'm not going to talk about the gyms that are existing, but the ones I'm talking about, franchises, big franchises.
Yes. There's
MMA gyms is over 500. So you look at the whole industry, from media to viewership to attendance to registration of athletes to even quality of athletes. Today, we've seen the growth of the quality of athletes. And one of the athletes like Mahbub, you can speak better, one of the up-and-coming top athletes from India. And we've seen that the market exists, the industry is there. It is, people are like, oh, we are a growing market. India might be a growing. No, it is not. It is an established market today. Yes, sure, like every other country and every other places, there is improvements that we can make. But I think there is no market as lucrative for sports investment like the MMA market in India. And something that we have witnessed firsthand as Brave, because we were there on ground. Yes. So you tell me now a little bit of, as an MMA federation, all this growth in MMA has happened, and do you feel like there's a challenge of India recognizing their own strength currently in MMA, and at the same time tell me a little bit more about the talents as well from India, because that's one of the questions which a lot of people ask as well. But do we have talent? And I say yes, we do. I think you could speak a little bit more about that.
He's talking about the journey as being an administrator and a president. Started working as a vice president, then became a working president with my previous federation. And since the last 4.5 years, I have been the president of MMA India. This is my second term, just got re-elected again this year on the 1st of April. And it was April Fool's Day. People thought we are calling for an election on a 1st April. Do we really need to come? And I said yes. So the whole team has got re-elected again with a couple of more new faces where we have included Mr. Devendra Pratap Singh Tomar, the son of our Honorable Agriculture Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Singh Tomar as the Vice President. And we have included model and actress Preeti Jangiani, who's also the president of the arm wrestling sport also,
Yes.
who's the wife of a famous Bollywood celebrity and also who runs the MMA India premier show, Praveen Dabba's
Dabba's.
MMA India show. So Preeti Jangiani has been appointed as the chairperson of the Women's Commission. So we have involved all these people. Anna has his blessing has always been there with us, a lot supportive. The transition comes like when we have seen the normal championships. We started our target when I became the president in 2019. My first target with my board of members and directors was let's target the grassroots. And I was very happy that 2018 only IMMAF had introduced the youth World Championship, which was held in 2019 in Italy. And that was the best thing because I used to always tell Denzang sir and Karit sir, MMA, we all know, okay, it's played by 18 and above. But when we see other combat sports, whether it's karate, taekwondo, judo, or other combat sports, they have small kids joining them, and which is like a mass. Thousands and thousands. Like I myself today, I run an academy of self-defense, which has been registered since the last 27 years. I completed my silver jubilee during the lockdown, and I was honored by the governor of Maharashtra, Honorable Shri Bhagat Singh Koshyari. During the lockdown, he invited me to Raj Bhavan. He honored the MMA athletes, whether it was Yogesh, the tallest MMA fighter in India at the height of 7 feet, or whether Karan Chauhan, one of a good fighter of Underground Fight Night, whether it was my son who was about to represent India at the Bulgaria Youth World Championship, or whether it was the girl Khushbu who had won a national championship. So the governor of Maharashtra honored these 5 athletes, and he released my brochure of 25 years of service to the sporting industry and especially to self-harm combat, which I have a world record of training more than 19 lakh females in the country. I've given 5,000 plus lectures in more than 3,000 colleges, 2,000 schools, various corporate companies, 100 of corporate companies, you name them. And yes, I have trained them on self-harm combat, guiding them through what do's and don'ts they have to do. So this journey, when we started targeting the grassroots, we started moving to various talukas, small district. I told the coaches, no problem, support them, teach them for free. Today, when you spoke about Mehboob Khan, yes, Mehboob Khan is a living example of that. A son of a Hyderabadi taxi driver. This young kid comes into the eyes of Sheikh Khalid. Sheikh Khalid, not His Highness. Sheikh Khalid is one of our coach in India. You know him very well. And Sheikh Khalid, poor thing, he saw that this kid is bright, he has passion, but he doesn't have money. He doesn't have a proper food to eat. Mehboob was surviving in such days that during the daytime, a father used to drive the taxi, and during the night time, Mehboob used to take the same taxi and used to be there at the airport for taking clients. So you can imagine that journey. Daytime, he used to train at Khalid's gym for 4 hours, whatever time he used to get. Khalid has supported him a lot, and he became a name for all of us and the first medalist in India in 2018.
What a story.
When Mehboob Khan won the gold medal in the juniors category. You won't believe, even if you see that it's posted on my social media, when I saw the Indian flag, when His Highness was awarding the medal to Mehboob, and when the national anthem was played. You won't believe, I was live. I had tears in my eyes. I was crying. I could feel it because it was the first time I was seeing my country's flag. And it meant a lot to me. Everybody came to me, they said, Sharif, you have done it. And you won't believe, the most happy moment in my life was that. When I was singing my national anthem, I was weeping. And no words. Yeah. Today also when I feel I have goosebumps, tears comes in my eyes because this was the moment we were waiting for. Otherwise, till 2014, 2015, when our Indian athletes used to come, you will be surprised if you know, even Kantara Agassi in 2015 had played in Las Vegas for IMMAF. And he lost in the first or second round. And now see where today Kantaraj is. He's one of the most successful pro fighters in India. I think last fight he successfully he defeated his opponent in one championship.
I think so.
He's a successful. He fought Brave also. Yes. In Brave also in 2019, when you had given us the opportunity, Kantaraj was playing the bout and he successfully, he won over them. So see, these are the journeys when you see, yes, this athlete is good. Khalid saw the same thing in Mehboob. Mehboob last year also, 2019, Mehboob again reached the quarterfinals, but unfortunately he was DQ because he was 75 grams overweight. And as I tell the athletes, IMMAF is very strict about their rules and regulation. So 2019, Mehboob was again undefeated, but he was DQ because of 75 grams of overweight. Last year, Mehboob Khan got the Asian bronze medalist because he was against the champion. And this year also, Mehboob Khan, it was unfortunate for him when Mehboob is fighting in the quarterfinals against the champion who won the gold medal later on. And you won't believe that full round went 3 rounds because it was in my cage only, cage number 4. It went the complete 3 round and the judge's decision, no doubt the Tajikistan guy was too good. He won convincingly. But the semi-final, when I was referring for the Tajikistan guy, it got over in the first round itself. And the final also, it got over quickly. So the coach of Tajikistan comes to me and tells me, sir, it was unfortunate. The fight between Mehboob and our boy should have been the final fight. So see, it's not about winning a medal. It is about carrying that respect. When your opposite camp comes and tells you that your fighter was much better, he should have been in the final.
Right.
So this is what we all talk about. Last year, Vriddhi Kumari. Vriddhi Kumari, again, a girl from Tamil Nadu, trains in combat kinetic gyms, surprisingly reached the quarterfinals, and in the semi-final when she reaches, she gets a bronze medal for India. So see, these are the transition. Previously, we used to not even get one medal. Our athletes used to be out in the first bout in the first round itself. We used to be happy, our athlete has reached the second round. That used to be in 2014, 2015. But today, proudly we can say, our athletes are getting medals in the Asian. Last year, we had 3 Asian medalists. This year, unfortunately, all my 4 fighters, they lost in the quarterfinal. Unfortunately, because they were against the champion. Vriddhi Kumari was against the American Olympian wrestler.
And that's one of the things. People look at IMMAF as a competition. Nobody realizes that IMMAF is one of the highest level of competition. It is not easy to win a medal. Winning a medal in IMMAF is definitely special. And the amount of talents that has come out of IMMAF today, representing the MMA world at the professional level, at the highest level, are actually they've come out of IMMAF. So the competition there is unbelievable. It's more tougher than many of the MMA pro promotions that's out there. The level of competition, so it is a great achievement.
Brother, you won't believe, I've got now fighters coming from different other combat sports. They want to learn MMA. Today only when I posted my things and stories on all girls, it's not only about male fighters, females, young females. So we would love to learn MMA. I'm doing boxing, I'm doing Muay Thai, I'm doing Wushu. You must have heard about this, one of our athlete, Aira Chishti. She's a girl from, a 17-year-old girl from Jammu Kashmir, coming from that region. A pretty looking girl, a cute girl, very good, fierce fighter. Last year she competed at the Youth World. Unfortunately, she couldn't win because she's a good striker in Wushu. She comes from the Wushu. She's a good striker in Wushu. But here, striking was not allowed. Headshots is not allowed in the youth category. So for her, it became difficult when the game used to go to the ground. And her opponent understood that this girl doesn't know that much of ground game.
Right.
And that's why she lost. This year, again, she went to the World Championship. She got a bronze medal in Wushu. And she was honored by the Jammu Kashmir government. The first girl in Wushu in Jammu Kashmir to be getting honored.
That's amazing.
This girl now has told me, sir, this time, sir, I'm only waiting to turn 18, which is after few months. Then I will show everybody my real game because I am a good striker. Now, such are the athletes which are jumping and moving. Aranjot Kaur You must have seen IMMF had also shared a video. This girl last year, she comes for the youth, again from a different background. She does MMA and then she moves in over here. She surprises everybody because nobody had seen her fight. I gave her a chance. I have an eyes, in Hindi they say, Johri hi janta hai wo hire ki कीमत. And when I look at this girl during a SFL fight, and I said, you are too young, my girl, to fight in amateur. You are just 16, 17. She said, no, I want to fight. Even I have fought amateur with many people. I said, you must have fought anywhere. Your coaches must have taken you anywhere. But I wouldn't bend the rules for anybody. Then I gave her a chance last year. And this girl, she beat up the American girl. And it was a big news everywhere. Today, this girl, this year, she became a national champion. Being from the juniors category, she defeated our senior category girls. 18-year-old girl. Her target is to compete at big promotions in the future. Recently now, she is in Dubai. She won the bronze medal day before yesterday at the APG tour of Jiu-Jitsu, which is going on over there. She got a bronze medal. Out of 4 fights, she won 3 fights. And she got a bronze medal. She was against the champion from Bahrain only, one of the girl who defeated her in that APG tour. And she's training over there in Attrition MMA Academy. They have awarded her the blue belt also. And this is what I'm saying, the future is bright in India. Young athletes, small girls, and youth, what this is there, it is a big change, I would say, in the MMA world. Because see, when I joined MMA, we all came from different martial art background. I was from karate and kickboxing. I never knew what is MMA. But today, we have a good knowledge. But this generation which is coming up, this 10, 12 years, 8 years old, 9 years old kids, they are purely trained in MMA.
A to Z MMA journey.
Yes, and this is what the future is. Imagine this 10, 12-year-old kids, when they reach the junior level, imagine their game. They reach the senior level, they'll be too good. And when they join any pro promotion in the future, like for example, I think one of your best boy, Mamad Mokav, is a living example.
True.
See where has he reached?
Correct.
I have refereed him. I have refereed him and Ryo Yamaguchi. Full 9 minutes, 11 minutes I was there with them in the cage, and that fight has generated, because he's much a celebrity today, that fight of mine has generated 100,000 plus views because I was a referee. Nobody knows me, but they know this fighters. True. Because he's a great kid. And I see him, I've seen his journey from junior world championship to senior world championship. And in 2019, when I see Sheikh Khalid goes into the cage and offers him the contract of Brave, and that where it changed. Today, he's one of the most successful amateur fighter. Today, he's one of the most successful pro fighter. Absolutely. With a good record in Brave and unbeatable record in UFC. And UFC, he's not just winning by a decision. He's finishing the fights in the first or second round.
Oh, special talent. I mean, though, these are the new breeds in MMA. So, and that's the thing, you know, I mean, if you look at Indian MMA, it's very clear, like we said, everything is, I would say that the sport is today developed and on a golden platter for ready to be taken to the next level. And like you said, you know, the upcoming, the future is bright when it comes to talents. And this is where I see that there's nothing, and all of this happened organically when you look at India, yes. You know, and that's why a lot of people within India, whether it's the governing bodies or the sports industry or the normal public, does not know much about it, because we've developed this internally and it's grown to the position where it is today. But it's in that MMA bubble that not even people, like you mentioned about transitioning from sports, India is known for having some of the best athletes, whether it's boxing, whether it's wrestling, whether it's Sanda. They have some of the best talents, and these talents, some of them who are not getting the opportunity to maybe go into the Olympics or competitions, they do have an option in MMA, you know, and but again, that education is yet to have for them to, we are developing as MMA, and now I think it's the next stage where we have to let the other sports understand that MMA is for all. It's there for everybody. There is a huge opportunity from a career-wise, from a business-wise, from an investment-wise, and even for India to be at a global level in sports. I think MMA will be that sport that India will be recognized globally more than any other sports have done for India. And I think that opportunity is there.
I would like to say that, you know, in India in the last few years, what we have done, we have started fight nights. We now don't wait only for events to happen where the normal championships are there. We target the malls because we want more and more people to understand what is this game of sport of MMA. When we do it in the malls, we have viewership of 2 to 3, 3, 4, 4,000 people walking around, moving and seeing at the cage. They're shopping also, but they're more interested what's happening down in the cage. So we have done in the biggest mall in Hyderabad. We have done in the biggest mall in Pune recently. Now also next month, my team is doing it at a mall in Pune where they have collaborated with Decathlon to become one of the sponsors, whatever they can support, and they're doing it. We used to have a very good event called Underground Fight Night, which we started in a land with a businessman who was passionate, just like you. And Book My Show became the partners later on. And it was so huge. We had 4 fight events. The surprising part of that fight night used to be everybody in Mumbai loves to party during the weekends. We thought of the idea, create a party circuit where high profile people can walk in, they can pay the money for catering inside, cover charge, go inside, have your drinks, have your stuff, a DJ is there, enjoy yourself, and every 45 minutes we have 6, not more, only 5 to 6 bouts. Every 45 minutes we have the bouts, starting from 8:30, and it goes on till 1 o'clock. And you won't believe so many of the fighters, they were getting recognition. They were paid also some money. They were getting to see this and they were becoming celebrities because half the crowd inside were all high profile people, celebrities, some business tycoons. And this is what we wanted. There's those business tycoons or some big business magnate to come and say, I like this fight. I would love to sponsor him. And this is what has been the interesting part, that this year, last year also, we got support during the Serbia time. Johan Punawala, the Adar Punawala's cousin, the people who, Serum Institute, who invented the vaccination Covishield, they supported the team with a good amount of money, $10,000 for the team to traveling to Serbia. And you won't believe what we did to have more transparency. I transferred that money straight into the bank accounts of the athletes. I said, no people should say that the money has come and 50% has been eaten up by the administrator and the president and all. So what we did, 80,000 rupees, 60,000 rupees, 55,000 rupees, we transferred to all the athletes. Even we supported the coaches because coach doesn't get anything. Sure. He has to travel on his own. True. We supported the coaches also with their flight tickets free of cost. And you won't believe whatever the money came, 90% of that money was donated to the athletes. Same thing now also. He has sponsored us for the nationals. We had an award night and he sponsored us again $10,000. And with that same money now, the flight tickets of our 10 people are being sponsored by MMA India to all the athletes for the youth world. So what we have done, keeping it in transparency, because you are seeing a lot of issues goes on in various federations in India. We are seeing what the issues are going on with the wrestling and many federations. We don't want to have a bad name. Sure. And with me being there and Touchwood, very well supported by the entire board of directors. So like you spoke about the big events, like last year when we had the nationals in Neemuch. It's a small town close to Rajasthan border in Madhya Pradesh, where our Honorable Vice President Devendra Pratap Singh Tomar, he uses his clout and influence. And the local people over there do a crowdfunding.
Wow.
And through crowdfunding, they collected $200,000. And with that money, you'll believe all my athletes were given a royal treat. The food to everything was just like whether they all have come for a destination wedding over there. The hotel rooms and all, though Neemuch is a very small town, the best hotels over there were booked for all the athletes and everybody. So that event for us was as if it was the most luxurious event ever held till date for us. And the last day, the finale, we have a FOK pro fights, a few pro fights we had, where even the fight to UFC, the Rana Rudra Pratap Singh, he also fought in that FOK. And we were surprised that they had an open stadium where they said they are going to be managing 25 to 30,000 people. It was a shock for me. But then Neemuch is also the headquarters for our paramilitary CRPF. The CRPF director comes to me, has a meeting with me. He says, I'm going to provide you all with 1,000 of my armed force to see that nothing bad happens in the event. Because you can't do such a big event without a proper security and management. Absolutely. Because if there can be stampede, there can be many things. And if that happens, tomorrow we will get a bad name and there would be an arrest warrant on the president. I had a couple of meetings with all those people, with the local politicians, MLAs, ministers coming over. You'll believe in that even, sorry to say, I had become more powerful than the ministers, I felt. My photograph was, I am seeing a live cutout of myself. I'm like, oh, and my family saying, Dad, are you joining politics? I said, no way. I said, we are sports people. But yes, they have put up. And that 30,000 crowd, the local police, administrators, celebrities coming in, singing songs and everything. You won't believe the MMA athletes, they became stars because 30,000 people hooting for you. Come on, go this red corner. They didn't know the name, but they were shouting red corner. When later on they were told that this is the name of the girl. Come on, Aira. Come on, Arya. Come on, this thing. So, athletes really became stars.
Definitely.
Until the time, brother, you know it. During your time, it was good that Super Fight League was there. So all the shows were televised and you all became a name. But later on, apart from cricket, today, if I tell you that name 10 cricketers, immediately you'll come out with 10 names. But if I tell you 10 MMA stars in India, and you will say, okay, Mohammad Farad, Kantara Jagase, okay, Anshul Jubli, okay, 5 names will be quick, but the rest of the 5, you will have to think, okay, who's there? Acha, she's also there, okay. Because we are not making the player the stars. How will you sell? Till the time you don't. So see, now from last year, I told my team also of creatives, no photographs of mine. I don't want a publicity. Even when we are creating a posture, put the athletes. Let them become the stars. That's how your game will sell. Today, by the blessing, IHFF also, we just recently did the Sheru Classic and IHFF also. And there also, Mr. Manish Gandhi came to me and he said, Mr. Sharif, it's amazing. You were always like a family to me because they're all children have been my students in the top school in Mumbai, Jamnabai Nursing. He said, but our association will go a long way, not only in India, but we will try to collaborate in Dubai and other places. I have a few good people who are ready to do something big with us. So many people are coming from the front. They want to do something big. They are crazy about it. They love the sport of MMA. Many of the other combat federation, they're scared of us. I'm very sorry to say, but they are feeling insecure of us because of the popularity.
And also you have, and all this benefits that are coming today, the growth and everything that we are seeing today and everything that you mentioned today, from the support, from the interest, from the people that is wanting to do the crowdfunding and the athletes that's coming out, it's all because you have built a national ecosystem in the country, and that if that foundation wasn't there, everything will not grow. It's the right soils that you've put in. With that, and I think that is key, because that's one thing that a lot of people from the outside will not be able to see. That's the work you're putting on ground. And that's why I always say that we are grateful to have His Highness Sheikh Khalid as the leader of MMA, because behind the scenes, what we are doing as the vision of His Highness Sheikh Khalid with KHK Sports, as well as Brave Combat Federation, they see the events, they see the fights, they see what's on TV. But behind the scenes, we have been always focused on how we can empower the international governing body, which is IMMAF, and how we have built a brand of Brave today to become the most global mixed martial art organization. To have a team that can give athletes the resource and the opportunity to become the best they can be, from Khabib and Islam to start in before anybody ever knew them as what they are today, to Muhammad Makayev, to Ikram, and a lot of athletes. I mean, we could go.
Yesterday I saw Ramzan, again, a champion of IMF in European, World and Super Cup.
The biggest
and I was so impressed seeing him, and you see his game. He finished the game in the first round itself. This is what I call a transition, because his base is so strongly built up. And I'm saying, Shahid, it's not that I'm trying to impress you because I'm sitting in your office. I'm a person, I'll call a spade a spade. You have done a great work with involving this young talent. You know, like I said, you should have the eyes to see, yes, this is the person I need. And I'm thankful to you, because today even Mehboob, the collaboration within Brave and India is going to be very strong, because Mehboob, a son of ours, is coming maybe within the next 48 hours.
Absolutely.
He'll be in Bahrain and he'll be training with the KHK team. And in future, he'll be the same star like what I'm saying to Ramzan and other people.
Absolutely. I mean, the team is amazing. And that's why it's an ecosystem that we built. Like when you look at coaches like Eldarov, I think he's arguably one of the best coaches in the world today. And even yesterday when I was, maybe day for yesterday when we were watching the Brave 71, I was listening to his coaching, and I was literally saying that this is the first time I'm listening to a coaching, and it's like music. Like I'm really enjoying to listen to the coaching because it is so technical and so detailed and so informative for the fighters. And that's the thousands and thousands of fights that we've cornered, and that's the ecosystem we have. And whether it's KHK, you can go deep into how KHK built what it is today. If it wasn't for the likes of Eldar, the likes of Hamza Kohiji, the likes of Ranat and the coaching staff, they have the scouting team, they have, so we've built that foundation. And at the global MMA level, the national ecosystem that you have built, we're trying to build a global ecosystem for the whole of the world. And that's why we need a leader who has a passion and love before everything else to reform, I would say, the world of MMA from a sports business to an event business. And with that being said, with IMMAF as a governing body to become the FIFA,
Yes.
with Brave becoming the global voice, the final piece of the puzzle for us to make that all come together is the national leagues, a business model
Yes.
that is going to be completely different, where we don't have to have these issues where fighters have to be marketable, they have to learn how to speak English, they have to be good looking, we don't want all that. If you have the talent, that's all that matters. You can become the best in the world. We can bring the private sectors to come on board and invest into it and get their return of investment, their amazing exit strategy. Everything is built in the most successful sports business model, which is a franchise model. We don't have that in MMA today. And I think what Brave has been gradually building in the last 7 to 8 years has been this ecosystem globally. Why we have traveled around the world, why we have empowered the International Federation by hosting events, by doing the MMA Super Cup, working closely and supporting financially as well. And then the teams that have that can go around the world and represent. And our team, if you look at KHK, it's not just Bahraini athletes. We have athletes from Bahrain, we have athletes from France, we have athletes from Egypt, we have athletes from Russia, we have athletes from Dagestan, we have athletes now from India. You know, so athletes from Pakistan, we have everybody together, you know. So it is a key foundation that we're building. And the part of the end goal is the business model, and that is Brave National League. And it is interesting because what you have built as a national ecosystem in India, today, or let's say tomorrow, we will be working together to build the final puzzle.
100%.
And that is take your national ecosystem and our global ecosystem, bring them together. And we're going to bring the world to India and India to the world with hosting the Brave India League.
100%.
And I think when we had this discussion, we've been discussing this from the past 7 years. We knew this was the end goal anyways. We had the global league to create the structure like football has FIFA, to confederations, continental confederations, and then the leagues like La Liga, Bundesliga. That's the structure globally. It's not easy. It takes a 15 years process. 100%. And we've reached to that last stage. And when we reached the stage, we had a lot of people saying, where do we start from? No brainer. You have to start your first league in Middle East because that's where you're born, that's where you have the relation, that's where the network is, that's the easiest to do it. And I sat and I said, everybody has their strengths. Middle East definitely has its strengths. Europe definitely has its strength at a global sporting structure. But it has to be the place that understands what a league model is. It has to be the place where they have tested, tried, and become successful in creating, whether people would say that, okay, from a sports business model, IPL has become one of the biggest sports property in the world.
100%.
But then a lot of people would also argue and say, but maybe because that is cricket. And then we go back and say, no, but you do have the case study of ISL and the Kabaddi leagues. And the Kho leagues now coming up that a lot of people won't even know what the sports are internationally, who are listening to our podcast now. They won't understand what Kho and Kabaddi might be, but they have become one of the biggest sports media properties because India understands the league model. And I think when we create the global national league model around the world, that's going to be changing today's professional MMA structure
100%.
to an actual sports business. And we can gladly say that it's event business model that we are in today, unfortunately, where you have to be able to do trash talks, or you have to look a little bit freaky, or you have to be speaking English. All that is out of the picture, and today you can just be focusing on sports. So India will be the leading and the first league to be part of this global structure. And I think this will be something that will change everything that we've been working, because that transition which we are talking about, that we've built a huge ecosystem in India. Now we just need the whole India to know it. Not only the MMA world, is when the league comes in, because that's when the private sector will know, not as a sport, but as an investment opportunity. The most lucrative sports investment opportunity the world has ever seen is going to be the league model. And that is when they will see, okay, I'm investing in the league model, but not a league from scratch, not a sport that the world doesn't know. We are talking about a sport that is the most global sport in the world. We're talking about a sport that is the most fastest growing sport in the world. And we're talking about a sport in India which has done organically. We had 3 Bollywood movies on the sports as well, or maybe even more.
More than that, yes.
More than that on Bollywood. So how come the movie industry, the movie stars and the viewership, everything, and the interesting part is also the diversity that 44% of the viewership for MMA is females.
Yes.
And that is very interesting for me to know. So the market is on a gold platter. The model is something that we all have to worry about, because is the model right? Is the people behind the model right? And we have been working on that for 7 years. We have the international federation, we have the national federation, and the league model is going to come there. And you know better than everybody else that what the market is. And as an Indian, you also know what the league model can do. The combination of what you have built as an ecosystem in the market, combined with the most successful business model of India, what is the result of it?
When I'm hearing you out, I can, like I say, I can see your vision, because this vision is not today's. When 2015, when the first time we were in Bahrain, I remember when you invited my previous federation and I was a party to it, I remember still. And that time was the first course we had done, if you remember. There were, I think, I still remember, even Yusuf and Hamza were part of that course. I remember they'd done the refereeing and judging course, and 3 events we had conducted. And I think that time only you had thought about this. And now, like you said, the formation was done that time. The reality is now about to take place. And honestly, you're right. India is a very big market. And I'm telling you today, there are not less than thousands and thousands of athletes who are looking forward to something like this, because each and every person wants to make a career for himself. He wants to do something for himself. He wants to prove himself. But again, they are not getting the right platform. And I really appreciate, brother, it's not like that, keep the politics aside. People may be talking anything. I'm never worried about what people talk. I always tell my team, if people are talking about you, whether good or bad, it's good. You are in their mind. You're playing in their mind. They're not able to forget you. Because if the day they forget me, then I'm a no one. I'm nobody then.
Absolutely.
So last year only, I remember you had given our Indian, one of our top boys, a chance in the brave, but in the amateur category. And he fought very well. All the 3 rounds, it went to the judge's decision where he unfortunately lost. But that's fine. This is important because your vision. It's not only that you are trying to promote through brave only the pro fighters. You are building up the base. And this is what now, with the brave India, this combination, I am 101% sure this will be one of the biggest success. And I think the whole world is gonna wait and see what's coming up next.
Definitely, it's gonna start from India, but change the whole mixed martial industry globally 100%. And we know that when they see that success, everything else is gonna be a snowball effect. Mr. Sharif, I don't want to take more of your time. You still have to go and have your courses continuing. Thank you for taking the time in between to come here and sit down with me. It's a great chat. It's just gonna be the first of many more chats to have. I think Indian MMA fans, Indian sports fan, Indian public needs to know the opportunity India has with MMA and what MMA's future is going to be in India. So thank you very much. And yes, thank you also for introducing us to Mahbub, and he's going to be part of the vision of His Highness and the way how His Highness has taken care of, from me as a first KHK member all the way to now, I don't know, thousands of them around the world, some of the best athletes around the world. And I think Mahbub is going to be part of a great team. And thanks to the foundation you have built and the infrastructure, I think this is going to be start to many more things to be done together for the development of the sport.
Thanks a lot, Shahid. Again, really appreciate. Again, I say your transition from a fighter to a coach to an administrator. And my wishes, my blessings, as an elder brother, Alhamdulillah, Allah Ta'ala give you a lot, because what you are doing for helping young fighters, young athletes reach that platform. Because like I also tell people, I may not be able to do much things for you. I will give you the bridge. I will show you the bridge. You have to walk that bridge. True. For me, I can show you that path. But again, I can't walk that path with you. Your hard work, your discipline, your confidence will lead you over there. So try to prove yourself at every stage. And once again, thankful to Sheikh Highness. is Sheikh Khalid bin Ahmad Al Khalifa, because like he's the visionary. Thankful to you, Mohammed Kambar, and then your entire team of officials who have been working behind the stage, because I see them working. And like we say, a team is only successful. We only see the stars, but the team is successful because there is a lot of department working behind it. So once again, thankful to you and your entire team. Allah Hafiz.
Pleasure. Thank you very
Thanks a
much.
lot, brother.